Clive.
Oh?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up res... Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an... Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals, but we ain't got nowhere for them to bed down. But I'd build them a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put them? There just ain't enough room, which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is... And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new...
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that.
It was a tragedy, and if any of us could have done anything to stop it, but what's done is done. And those who...
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon there's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. And they don't... Nasty bastards they are. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call.
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved.
And I know the men will... I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be... And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own, too.
Of course. All right, Sir Wade. Let's hear your plan. Sir Wade.
And you, Lord Rossfield.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to...
That's right. Though it was... I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes some. And then there are the bearers. Men and women who found we need somewhere to settle them. And I can think of worse...
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues...
So?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. And rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than like... A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal. You and the Guardians can stay out. Make sure I'm not taking...
I can't ask you to bear all that...
The Akashic are the bigger risk.
Well, I shall summon my men up...
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead.
All right.
We shall see you there.
Anything catch your eye? Take care out there, eh?
You think you can just walk in here? Kill him!
You will leave Eastpool now, or face the consequences. Stay down! That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them, and not a single Akashek in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy, especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool is in safe hands. Time to go and tell Martha the good news.
Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bat. What's all this about? On second thoughts, it'll only give me nightmares of me own.
I suppose it will be.
What else? Sir Wade said it. There's plenty bad happened to that place. But that don't undo the...
Did Wade say that?
Well, something. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber...
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you.
I wanted to.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need.
You know what you have to do. Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal...
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. His revenge.
It is the one and it is all that I have lived for.
But what of Lostwing?
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children. The elderly. Bearers afflicted by... I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the And so, Clive, I find... Will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live?
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Goten's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete, and may Griga guide us.
To Goten's Bales, then, and quickly, before anyone else finds them.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. I trust it's all here.
Let's go. Back to the stables, girl. Everyone, Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what he should do with his. If he's saying we ain't safe in Lost Wing no more, it's 'cause he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope he can see this through to the end. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quinton to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that. They're all gonna fucking die.
Sid! Don't worry about us. You've got to catch up with him. We can't let Quinton die before that.
All right. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heaven Hall, he calls it.
Promise us, Sid.
Good girl. Don't tell me I'm too late. Quentin, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quentin. I'll hold it off. You go.
But...
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then. You're no guard dog. You're just a rabid beast that needs to be put down. If only we'd arrived earlier. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear. Just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans. Building a haven in Lostwing. Freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You?
And so are you. And it's Lostwing. It's been flooded.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool! It's not going to last long in there. Come on, Torgal. We need to make this quick. I need to find Quentin. Quentin! Quentin! Look at me! Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quentin. Save you.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. I have nothing left to live.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge.
But I prayed, and you did. Can't we just go back to how it was?
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quint. We believed that you were the right man to lead us.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people, so long as you remain.
But why? Why would anyone...
Because we're family.
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you. Lostwing weren't.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it...
We can start again. Build a new Lost Wing. Right here.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another. Why, just a village. What's to stop?
That's the Master...
Please. Quentin, Wilson, after all. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my...
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
If we're going to do this, we'll need help.
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need...
And what talents would that...
Why, your fearlessness.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the... None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges. Which means...
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere and we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men...
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman.
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation...
Of course.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village, even if I begin right now. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the...
I'll do my best.
You will find the village in Chaidra's Thread, past Lateney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
straight home now. This must have been a nice place once. It will be again. That's all of them. Come on, Toggle. Let's head back to Boklad.
Well met. Farewell.
Something the matter, Theodore? Quiet.
Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall. Thank you.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes. And, no. But enough about him. How did you fare down in Cashlock?
It's done. The village is safe now.
You made quick work of it, as always.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, don't tell her I was watching her, will you? She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've finished with your report.
All right. Eloise.
Thank you, Clark. Here. Well then, now that you have... I suppose we'd better... The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is
You're still in negotiation?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf. I suppose it's to be expected, but we shall emerge victorious.
Well, if you need any help, you know where to find me.
I'm not sure I do.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one speaking to me, he represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's...
I don't think I've heard.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has, and they're still expanding. And judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had heart.
And you'd rather she did?
I would rather she did. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. And we have striven, but this was not the life my sister wanted, nor the... I won't let her give up on her dreams again. She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers. And
you're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what and I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own. But each time an opportunity to do just that.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show her that I don't need to be watched over anymore. Though I'm sure I'll...
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, I had better get back to work. That's a job for the Crimson Caravan.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with it?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been Mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me Mid is all right.
I remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Well,
possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are cruel?
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope, nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this.
right, out of the way. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Who's a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
If it's knowledge you seek,
all right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Tough for that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe...
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clyde.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You can...
Glory to Griga. There you are.
What's happened?
Tyre's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best visitor before too long.
I know better than to order Tyre to do anything.
Thank you.
Well, Tyre, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia, it's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Tyre. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodrigue.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can bring me what we're missing.
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Oh, ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work. Because the curse breakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride, and focus all your energies on the task at hand. Keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right. And it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? Just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
He's a surly soaker.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely.
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out. Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumoured to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have much to do, as do I. Now, where did I put my watering can?
If it's knowledge you seek.
Why? Your stall is...
Faster!
Rodrigo could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls.
Stay down!
Hopefully one will be enough. Rodrigo will have prepared the other ingredients by now. All right. Kicked out already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't. Blackthorn.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you asked so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right. Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravoged. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Zoltan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it. It'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
The forge on the hill?
Good luck.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Mama, why hasn't Papa come back yet?
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out. Before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
He's waiting. Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
Didn't you apprentice together?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor and piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out,
Ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here. And neither are you.
All right. I'm going.
Please, Chief, you've got to do something.
Mama, why hasn't Papa...
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut your hole. Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravost. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravost in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravost prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place is as good as dead.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive. Dravost won't last long without his furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it, it's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this be another step on the road to freeing Valisthea from the prison of the Crystal's blessing. Dravost will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way, of course. It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two, would you, August?
All right, then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Carava.
Time for a spot of hunting, then.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Would you like to see my wares? Farewell, traveller.
come on.
Yeah!
No mistakes. Let's make this quick, shall we? Be safe. I dare say that would be enough for a decent set of bellows.
What's this all about, then?
Dunno.
Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
There should be plenty. Right then, time to put these louds to work. If everyone pulls their weight, we'll be finished in no time.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot enough, all right. And without a single crystal in sight.
You know what this means, don't you?
I do, yeah. Dravost is saved.
Sorry about earlier. I take back everything I said. That thing you built us is an honest-to-God's marvel. You've saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the construction.
Give this to him, would you?
What is it?
Pet Cole's cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to eke the most out of our forges. That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your steel. Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Blackthorn. Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment trying to match up to the bastard. No amount of sleepless nights at the Anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius. Plain and simple. The man Dravosht needed. But he took all his talent and left. Gifted and free. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first. And that's not gonna happen.
Well, you know what they say. Oriflamme weren't built in a day and all that. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. And I'd call that a job well done.
So would I.
I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old git gets home safe and sound.
See that you both do. I'll save the cinders till then.
All right. It'll be a nice little surprise for him.
I want a set of these bellows for our forge.
The forges are back in action.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
Thank goodness you're back.
Is this what you needed?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Clive. I'm loath to give a patient Alicia, but Talia's right. Sometimes it's all we can do. A single dose dulls even the most agonizing pain, and all other sensation with it. It may be a gentle way to die, but it is death nonetheless. I wish there was another way.
How are you feeling?
Light, mid-here. Drifting on waves.
Good. Just relax. Let the waves carry you to a better place.
Thank you, Daya. I'm so proud of you.
He's gone. Thank you, Rodrigue. And you, Clive?
See that he's properly laid to rest.
The man you helped today was my mentor, back in the Southern Isles, on the front lines of some meaningless war. I was still a child when they shipped me to their triage tents, to treat the wounded with my gift. But in such blighted lands, I was next to useless. Until he taught me the true physicker's art, that is.
An art we would be lost without.
Tears of mercy were his gift to the bearers of the world. A respite from the agony of the curse's end.
And a kindness Sid would have approved of.
You know as well as I what life is like for a bearer soldier. Marched from one battle to the next, never knowing which might be your last. A commander may care nothing for the bearer spent in his service. But my mentor's gift gave the dying one fleeting moment of tranquility before the end. I've no tears left, Clive. I've seen too many of my friends taken. Something needs to change. And we need to be the ones to change it.
And we will. I promise.
I hope so.
Gentlemen, I see you both made it home in one piece.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to outstay our welcome. The whole village turned out for a go on the bellows after you left. Everyone except Zoltan, that is. Didn't see hide nor hair of him.
Oh, but that reminds me. I have something for you.
Pico Cinder. How'd you come by this? And you're sure he wanted me to have it?
I'm sure. He didn't say so, but I think he wants to forgive you.
Huh. Imagine that. Yeah. You know I could never leave this place, don't you? Every time you put on mail, you and the curse breakers are trusting me with your lives. There's no greater honor for a smith than that. I'm not about to go crawling back to Zoltan for forgiveness, but I will make good use of his cinder. And if that helps save even a single life, then he'll have my gratitude. What was it you said he called me? Huh? A genius? And he spent sleepless night trying to copy me, did he? Sounds like I better get to work. I've got a reputation to uphold.
It's good to see you back on form, Blackthorn.
I don't know how you pair put up with me sometimes, but I'm grateful all the same. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, about to put Zoltan back in his place.
Ain't got the art to tell him how similar they are. Stubborn bastards.
A little healthy competition should be good for him.
You're not wrong. Still, it's a shame him and Zoltan couldn't let bygones be bygones. No use grumbling about it now, though. Blackthorn's happy. Or as near to happy as he gets. And that's good enough for me.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? That it?
Let me help. I know my letters. Most of them.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. What subject shall we consider today? You are always welcome, Clive.
Clive. Go on, then.
Is that all?